listening to the Sportz Nutz.
Welcome to the Sportz Nutz, guys. Hey, yes, this is episode 134. Hope you guys had a fantastic. What in the world is that behind you, Matt?
Oh man, this is just a little Sportz Nutz thing. I mean, this is just
Hold on. Look at that. Look at that. Oh man, awesome. Anyway, guys, like we were saying, we hope you guys had a fantastic start to your week. Shout out to everybody who is back in school today. Guys, something really cool happened today. Eastland, she is actually getting the privilege to go be at Cassie's school, and she got to meet her teacher today. And this little girl is ready for tomorrow. She is already showered, brushed her teeth, got her outfit laid out for the morning, and she is in bed. She is ready to roll for school. I'm beyond excited for this. But my man's sitting next to me, though. Shane Owen, what's going on with you, man?
Oh, man, nothing much. Just still waiting for everything to dry out up here. Man, other than that, man, I had a couple of very productive days grocery shopping and getting some work done. And, man, ready to get some good talk in with the fellas tonight, for sure.
That's right. And absolutely. For those, by the way, for anybody who's watching in McCormick, Saluda, and all like the lower end area, shout out to you guys. Greenwood, you guys did get a deluge today, like 6 inches of rain in parts. There's one part of McCormick got like 8.5 inches. So yeah, let's try and dry out. Of course, we've been spoiled with this wonderful temperatures here, but my man sitting below us can probably argue just a little bit that he is tired of the rain. But Matt, man, how are you doing?
How's it going, man? I didn't know I was living in Seattle right now, man. I can say that much. Yeah, over here in the Atlanta area, man, it's been raining the last few days, and it's gonna rain even more. I think another week. We got another week of rain, so we'll see. Yeah. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, and shout out to all the first responders. Like I know they're pretty busy with all the weather related issues going on, so shout out to them, guys. We have a jam-packed show. I cannot wait to get going on this one. The Major League Baseball has made an announcement for a hosting city. Yeah, we're going to talk about what city and where are they hosting. A NFL great has officially hung his cleats up. Played 9 great seasons. The question is, does this individual deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? We'll dive into it. The Mountain West Conference, man, they're in some serious legal battle drama going on with every exiting institution that is leaving for the Pac-12 2.0, and several schools, they are fighting back. What schools are fighting back? We'll talk a little bit about that. The top 25 preseason coaches poll has been released. There's actually some pretty surprising names on there. We'll talk a little bit about that one. I can't wait to hear Shane and Matt's discussions on that one. Guys, guess like I just started the show, school is back, and so is high school football. Yes, we're only literally a couple of weeks away. And guys, I got a really cool stat to share with you. From officially now until January, still February, but every weekend we'll have either high school, college, or pro, or we'll have some form of that variation. I mean, that's just exciting to talk about. But however, there's one school that everybody is talking about. Why? And Matt actually lives right down the road from this school. We'll talk about it. Why? Because they revised the in total amount and how much it costs to build this complex. We'll talk about it. Shane's got a couple of good stories that he's going to share with us in the sports world. Matt's got a couple sports stories, possibly. Matt is actually going to talk about the fantasy football as well. We do have the link. I have shared the link. Matt has too. I believe we're at 9 teams, if I'm not mistaken. Matt, is that correct? Is it 8 or is it 9? Do you know by chance?
I I think it was at 9, but it's gonna go back to 8 once I get rid of one of Shane's teams that he accidentally added to the
Yes,
league.
yes, which I've
But
tried to get rid of. You need to do that for me.
I'll do that. It's no problem at all. I'll do that. Yeah, I got some new news regarding the league and regarding the payment. I had a gentleman message me asking how to pay. I'm gonna tell you guys how to do that in the hot second. Well,
Yep.
whenever we get to that.
That's our good friend Trey. Thank you. Trey actually asked me how he can pay, so I told him we'll talk to Matt about that one. Shane, as you guys see it below his name right there about the money lines, he's going to talk about it, when it's going to get going and that kind of stuff. We're going to create a little poll, actually. Our Saturday, other side of Saturday's series, should it be aired on a Saturday morning? We're going to leave that poll up for you guys to decide, and you let us know what you think. And then obviously we want to have our socials grow. And if you guys could help us grow, it would be fantastic. We'll talk about the numbers we want you to grow. We'll give a quick recap for the upcoming episodes. And then I talked about this absolutely yesterday with Shane, which, by the way, our guest that we didn't have yesterday, he did get sidetracked, has been rescheduled. He will be with us on the 12th of August. Yes, Jimmy Smith is joining us. Former Jacksonville Jaguars wide receiver. It has been confirmed. Him and I have communicated back and forth on that one. But I got to start this story. I talked about it yesterday. And Matt, I'm really eager to hear your thoughts on this one, being the basketball god that you are. You know, we love basketball religiously in the South. And you're no exception to where you are absolutely a basketball. So a story came out yesterday that the NCAA men's and women's basketball tournament, the field of 68 is actually set to expand. They have come out and said they will not do it for the 2025-26 season or the 26 going into 27. However, it will happen starting in 2027-28 season. What are they expanding to? Well, I'm so glad you asked that question, hypothetical listener. It is going to either be 72 or it will be 78. And the emphasis, it has been, though, on the 78. I'm actually really excited that, you're getting the smaller institutions, the opportunity to showcase their talents. And Shane and I talked about this yesterday. I use the Big West as an example. The last 3 years, it's always been two teams that have won 20-plus games or more even, right? Mm-hmm. And the champion they only get one. That's one AQ that goes in there, and the rest of them, you're bleep out of luck kind of stuff. And I don't think it's right that smaller conferences should only get one AQ. I think there should be more opportunities for other smaller institutions. Give an example, University of Hawaii. Last year, the year before last, they went on a phenomenal run. They made it all the way to the championship game, and they lost. And guess what? Irvine went into the tournament, and they had a worse record than the University of Hawaii. But I got to ask you, Matt, is this a good thing for college basketball, or what? Because, there's always that discussion. Well, now that they're 78, why don't they go to 96? Or heck, why don't we go to 127? What do you think, Matt? Is this a good move? Is this a bad move? Where are you leaning on this one?
Well, it could be a good move if utilized properly. I'm gonna go ahead and let you know how it'll be utilized improperly, which is probably what's going to happen. Let's say the same scenario with Hawaii. Let's say this happens and Hawaii finishes, let's just say for the sake of things, 20-13. Let's say Hawaii finishes 20-13, but second place. All right. So let's go to let's use the ACC here. Let's say Clemson finishes 5th and they finish at 18-15. Okay. Now, we both know they're going to give Clemson that at-large bid, or they're going to give it to Clemson, and that's kind of what I foresee happening. I see them giving it to the more of the Power 5 or more of the larger school rather than giving it to the smaller school. Now, I don't know what the algorithm is. I don't know how they decide what teams make it. As you know, they never disclose what the selection process is. They just
Money.
give us selection. They just give us selection Sunday. But if it was used properly, then I think you would have the teams in that actually deserve it. You know, don't put a dang near 500 team in when you have a 20 and 13 Hawaii over here. You got to reward these teams for winning. So hopefully, I'm at a crossroads here. I don't know which one they're gonna do, but I just know it's either one or the other.
Shane, correct me if I'm wrong. Which team was it? Arkansas last year that got in just by the hair on their chin because they only had 5 conference wins, wasn't it? Who was that team? I can't remember for the likes of me. Which SEC school only had 5 conference wins and they got into the tournament?
Oh yeah, I forget which school it was, but I mean, you also had that case for like I spoke about last night, where you're talking about, and which Matt's alluding to as well. The bottom tier teams in these leagues, say the ACC, Big Ten, SEC, these Power Four conferences. You're going to see the bottom tier of those leagues probably get in just because of what they say that they look at whenever they do their selection show and stuff like that, on how strength of schedule makes a big difference. And if you're looking at teams that are going to possibly be in the tournament, then you've got 14 teams at minimum in a league. So that's 13. That's 26 other games against quality opponents now that you have guaranteed. So that's there's going to be a lot of criticism on it, and because eventually that's what they're going to market this as, open it up for the mid majors and the group of 5 schools to put more teams in. But we all know kind of where this path is going to lead until they talk about another possible expansion.
You're right, but the question next is for both of you. I want you both to answer. Is 78 enough, or should they go for more? Matt, what do you think? Should they go for more, or is 78 enough for now?
As of right now, I think 78 would definitely be enough, man. It's more than enough, actually. I actually think they should go to maybe add 4 more teams, and I don't think they should even add a full 10 more teams. I think 78 would be enough, man. That'd be enough to kind of get your point across on the direction that you want to go to.
All right, so then Shane, I asked Matt, is 78 enough? How about this? Do they eliminate the first 4 in and the first 4 out if they're expanding to the field of 78?
Oh yeah, well that's that's what we're going to see. That line's just going to keep constantly moving back further and further for that first 4 in, first 4 out kind of deal. Because you're always talking about who's going to make the tournament, kind of. But I could see, I'd love to see a situation where kind of the NCAA March Madness tournament and the NIT or another tournament kind of comes to fruition, where you can get say 84 teams into a condensed schedule, with having some teams, say of your group of 5 and mid majors, other than your automatic conference winners, be in that say other tournament that would eventually lead back into the NCAA tournament, say the round of 16.
Play-in.
Yeah.
Like
Well, not really necessarily a play-in, but it would be a move to guarantee more mid-major and group of 5 schools a chance to get into the dance. I could see something like that working out, to where now you've got your top 4 out of that tournament that weren't automatic qualifiers into the NCAA tournament now go into the NCAA tournament at around the 16 kind of deal. The way it would be.
I like your point on that one.
I think that would be a cool way to do it. And of course, with money the way it is, you start getting corporate sponsors involved and everything. You're going to see more and more. I mean, I saw it this past year. a couple of the postseason tournaments, like in the Bahamas and stuff like that.
There's that one. It's it's like CNIT or whatever, where they pay. You have to pay to go to it.
Yeah,
and you're still getting the opportunity. But I like your direction on that one. So what do you think about this though, Shane? If the mid majors all had this massive tournament, like it's like let's just see like 2 days worth, they all push it into one, and then the remaining 5 or 4, the final 4 they get put into the NCAA tournament. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. You reduce back your NCAA tournament back to 64 seeds, and then you have say 32 seeds in this other tournament, and then the top 4 seeds in that other tournament now make the play-in games. Is what you would say. So it basically keeps it at a 68-person field for March Madness. Or you could go, further on down the line, rewarding them to play bigger schools. But that would be kind of, I guess you would call it a play-in tournament to get there. I think would be a great move and a competitive move at that.
I like that. I really like that idea, that whole philosophy. So we'll know more about this in the coming months, in a couple years, even. Like I said, we're not going to see the expansion officially until the 2027-28 season. But it will be something to behold, absolutely. But, you are opening up a can of worms for the possibility of why not have more. You're going to always have that extra discussions. So, absolutely. All right, so, I'm really excited to announce this. Now, in case you guys don't pay attention to what Major League Baseball does, they will announce the host city for All-Star games a couple years in advance, right? Well, as everybody knows, it was just held in Atlanta. It was a fantastic turnout. I believe the economic impact is in the range of like $80 million for the entire weekend. Fantastic numbers for the city of Atlanta, city of Metro Atlanta, really more specifically Marietta, Georgia. That's where they are located. But Wrigley Field, guys, they have made news for the right reasons. The city of Chicago, yes, the city of Chicago is going to host the 2027 All-Star Game. More specifically, it'll be at Wrigley Field. This is a fantastic move for the city of Chicago. As everybody should know, Chicago's kind of been immersed in controversy. There's the south side of Chicago, the Chicago White Sox. There's so many discussions going on that they are going to get sold and be relocated to Nashville. That has been the constant conversation. That's been mentioned as Nashville and Salt Lake City. Those are the 2 cities that the White Sox have been said they're going to. We will see them, but this is a really bold move for Major League Baseball and for the city of Chicago. But Shane, Wrigley is an iconic venue. It is a bucket list destination for so many. I'm included on that list. I want to visit. That's a bucket list destination. But is this a good move for the Chicago Whites? I mean, for the Chicago Cubs, Wrigley Field, and for the whole city of Chicago as a whole?
Oh, yeah. Well, I think this is a great move, especially the way, MLB likes to throw it back and, kind of they don't do many kind of holy grail stadiums for all-star games much. This is the first time that Wrigley's going to host it since 1990. The ownership there at Wrigley has been vying for many years through improvements and stuff like that to put their name in the hat to be bid for an all-star game. And, after I think it was from 2009 to like 2016, they spent, I think, upwards of $80 million just in upgrades. But it finally was able to come to fruition with the city of Chicago and all the help from the first responders and everything, getting a true security plan together. With Wrigleyville being right outside the stadium, it's not like the Battery in Atlanta. It's not a confined space that you can actually kind of, monitor people in and out. This is actually, the streets of Chicago. So that was a big worry for them with the influx of people and the prominence of the game. So glad that they were able to get that worked out. This is it's great news, and it's gonna be I believe July 13th on 2027. But it was great when they announced it. The Cubs actually had one of their famous 1:20 starting time afternoon games when they announced it, and they had Manfred there along with some high-ranking members of the Cubs organization to kind of dole out that to the fans that were in attendance. And just like I said, it's great to see, and it's going to be fun to see that home run derby, see how many balls go over the Ivy.
Or go into the Ivy more specifically. It's going to be a lot of fun in general. Matt, our good friend Snowman, he is based out of Chicago. Chicago is a very iconic city. It's rich in history, both good and bad. What do you think? Do you think this is an excellent move for the city? I mean, you're getting something that generates a massive amount of economic impacts in the right way. But what do you think? Is this a good move?
I think it's a great move. And Shane alluded to it, man, with his stat of the night. They haven't had anything there since 1990, which is criminal, man, given the history of that particular stadium, man. So yeah, man, I think this helps out a lot, especially with the area. We know Chicago's gotten a bad rap over the years, man, as far as violence, gang violence, teen violence, and things of that nature, man. But once you get into that city, it's a beautiful city, man, rich with culture and heritage, man, a great heritage. So baseball heritage is that. So look, man, I think it's a great move for him, man. Great for the city, great for the league to do this, and shed light to one of its vintage stadiums, man.
Absolutely. Wrigley Field, it is, for all intents and purposes, it should be everybody's bucket list. One of their bucket list destinations is to see the iconic Wrigley Field. I mean, it's one of the oldest remaining, actually, I think it is the oldest remaining stadium, because remember, Yankee Stadium was old. They built a new one, and it was called the house that Ruth built, whatever, and that kind of stuff. But I'm so excited, and you're right, Chicago. I gotta quickly give a family history here. Everybody knows who Al Capone is, correct? If you don't, you're living under a rock. Well, the prosecutor who prosecuted Al Capone the first time is my great uncle. So little rich history on that one. Shout out to the city of Chicago. Excellent move by giving the fans the opportunity of a lifetime. It is a great experience to go to any All-Star game, but shout out to them, and I'm so happy for them. All right, so a specific NFL wide receiver has hung his cleats up, and it's both shocking but not shocking at the same time. He played 9 phenomenal seasons. Played for the Browns. He played for the Cowboys, the Bills. Who are we talking about? Well, we're talking about Amari Cooper. Yes. Coop has hung up his cleats. He made the announcement official a couple of days ago that he was retiring. He made it known on social media. Great, illustrious career, fantastic, good on him. He will forever be known as one of the greats that unfortunately never won it. Matt, you've had the opportunity to see Coop play a couple times. He's gone and played in Atlanta. He was old reliable is how I always saw it. You could throw the ball, and for whatever reason, he was going to catch it almost not 100% of the time. He was catching the ball no matter what. You threw it, he was going to catch it. But the question I'm going to ask you, Matt, is does Amari Cooper get into Cooperstown? I mean, up into Canton, or I was like Cooperstown, into Canton, or is he not done enough to get into Canton?
I mean, you got to look at who he's up against, man. Who he's going to be up against here, man. I mean, would you put him in over Julio Jones? Would you put him in over Calvin Johnson? I mean, now don't get me wrong, man. Even back from his days at Alabama, man, Coop, some of the best hands you'll see in the league, man, to ever grace the league. Very consistent player, man. Very consistent player. Just never really had great quarterbacks early in his career, man. Never really had great quarterbacks. He was with the Raiders for a time. He spent a lot of time with the Browns. I think he had a young Josh Allen, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure Josh Allen was there.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
he had a young Josh Allen. But he had Dak in with the Cowboys, and he had great seasons.
He was also with the Raiders too. Remember? And who did the Raiders have?
They had everybody at quarterback. They had everybody at quarterback. You know, that's who the Raiders had. They had everybody at quarterback. It was all bad. So he's going to go down as one of those receivers that never really had a good quarterback, man. Consistently in his career, unfortunately, because he could have put up a lot more monstrous numbers than what he had. But nah, man. But when it comes to individual talent, one of the best you'll see. Great route runner, great release, great hands. I mean, not too many weaknesses. The only weakness you can really say, he wasn't a burner. He wasn't a burner, but still he can get open. So one of those underappreciated receivers or athletes, man, that's you're not really gonna appreciate until 5, 6, 7 years after he retires. But to get to your point, I don't know, man. I don't think he gets there. I don't think he gets in, man. If he gets in, he's definitely not going to be first ballot. But he might be one of those guys.
What about the Ring of Honor then? Does he get into the Ring of Honor? And if so, who does he get into though?
That's a good question. Great question. I don't think he gets to the Ring of Honor of any team, man. I mean, when he was with Oakland, when he was with the Raiders, man. I mean, again, bad quarterback play. But then he wasn't at these other destinations long enough for him to get put in the Ring of Honor. He was only with the Cowboys, 2 seasons?
Yeah. I think his longest tenure was with
the Raiders.
The Browns was it the Raiders or the Browns?
I think it was the Raiders early in his career because he was with the Raiders for how many years?
I think 4.
4, yeah. So
I think 4 with the Raiders, 3 with the Browns, 3 with the Cowboys,
and
one with the Bills. Yeah, one with Buffalo.
Yeah. So he hasn't been with the team long enough, and it's not his fault. That's just the way the cards were dealt for him, man. But I don't think he gets into a Ring of Honor or he gets into the Hall of Fame.
Shane, you know who he reminds me of, and I want to see if Matt kind of agrees. You remember Terrence Mathis, Matt?
Yes.
He reminded me, Terrence Mathis was one of the most reliable route runners for the Atlanta Falcons. Mm-hmm. Still is. He was one of my all-time favorites too. I could see a mixture of Terrence Mathis with a Roddy White kind of thing. Roddy, early in his career was not exactly the most reliable, but he became one of the most reliable wide receivers in Falcons history. But Terrence Mathis, man, he was a wideout unlike any other. What do you think, Matt? Do you think you can do you agree that he could be kind of a mixture of a Mathis with a Roddy White, or who would you give the comparisons to?
Actually, I think he had better hands than those guys. People forget Roddy had a lot of drops really coming into the league from UAB. But then again, when you got Michael Vick throwing these lasers at you, man, it's kind of tough to to catch him probably. But I think he had better hands than those guys, man. Look, man, Coop, just because Coop won't get in, has nothing to do with his talent. It was just individual circumstance, man. But if I had to compare him to somebody, ooh, man, that's a good question, man. I don't know. Maybe like a Chris Carter? Ugh.
Ooh, I could see that. Absolutely, I could. Because Chris was very reliable.
Yes. Yeah, I would say something like that if I had to guess.
I can tell you, Antonio Freeman comes to mind. Ooh. For me, just a great route runner. Really didn't beat you with his speed, but had
he could
great
make those
hands.
Amazing catches for Green Bay. Absolutely, he could.
Oh, you know what? I give him a less physical Anquan Bolden. I can see that. Less physical. Anquan was physical. Less physical. Maybe something like that. maybe something to that degree, but that or Chris Carter, man. That's kind of what I see him at.
I like that. I
But
like that comparison with having both Chris and I like Antonio. I like it. They both provided excellent level of play for their teams.
Oh yeah, well,
But
and then you get to looking at Amari Cooper. What I kind of remember him as is he was kind of that first Bama wide receiver that they
yep.
had, kind of deal. Now it seems like every year Ohio State's got two, Bama's got one or two. You've got these they call them DBUs, QBUs, wide receiver U's. But he was kind of the first one there. But and like Matt said, hats off to the man for a great career. I mean, still
Mm-hmm.
finished with over 700 catches, over 10,000 yards. Let's see, 64 touchdowns. Put him at a decent average per season in his career with just over 1,100 yards per season as far as his average. So, it's going to be one of those ones where, as Matt mentioned, quarterback play is going to have a lot to do with it. When it comes to any kind of Ring of Honor or Hall of Fame nod. Could see later years maybe. Okay, well, he was a great production player, and so he needs to get this nod kind of deal. But as of right now, and I mean, really going forward, the numbers for a wide receiver are just going to start getting astronomical as you see multiple, players with 15, 1,600-yard seasons like Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson have the opportunity to do. So it's, hats off to them. Great career. And, we'll have to see with what the rest holds.
I 100% agree. Shout out to Coop for having a fantastic career. You did do a phenomenal thing. So absolutely. All right. So let's switch it up a little bit and talk some college college sports, I should say. Well, the Mountain West Conference, man, they just can't catch a break. They're in a huge legal battle with every exiting institution that is leaving for the Pac-12 2.0. Well, several schools, though, they're absolutely putting their foot down, saying, "You're not getting a penny out of me. I shouldn't have to pay it because blankety blankety blank." Right? Well, guess who the two schools who are fighting tooth and nail and all? And guys, this is what's really funny. Only one of them has a legit argument, and that's that. And I'll explain why in just a minute. Well, the one school that thinks that they shouldn't get hit with an exit fee, which, by the way, between all the schools that are leaving Mountain West to go to the Pac-12, it's like almost $500 million between
No,
the TV
it's
deal.
not.
Hold on. Between the TV deal and the Xing, it's like that's how much that every school in the Mountain West is set to earn. It's a substantial amount. Well, Boise State and San Diego State both believe they shouldn't have to pay $1. And the one school that is giving the biggest fight is San Diego State, and they're blaming it on so many other like afterthoughts. And one of them is because they just built this brand new stadium is one of the arguments, because they were also about to leave the Mountain West a couple of years ago. They had a chance to go to the Big 12, and then it was the Big 10, then it was the ACC, then it was then they were trying to say, well, we're going to go to SEC, and that never materialized. That was never going to. We know that. I mean, putting San Diego State in the same realm of Alabama is like putting bread and water kind of thing. It's not conducive. Well, the schools, Boise is obviously fighting because Boise just thinks they should get away with everything. That's just always what they thought. But what do you think, though, Shane? Do you think, San Diego State has a legit argument? Does Boise have a legit argument, or should they just shut up and just pay up? What do you think, Shane?
Well, out of the 5 schools that are in the lawsuit with the Mountain West Conference about their exit fees and everything, San Diego State has the most credible leg to stand on.
Yep, that is true.
When it comes to that, because they did initiate talks of leaving in, I believe, what was December 2023, I believe it was. But then again, you also look at these schools like Boise State and Colorado State and all that made a big deal when San Diego State was trying to leave. They had their stadium being built, during that time whenever they were trying to leave. But those other schools said no, they should pay the exit fees. I find it completely ironic that now these are the same schools that are refusing to pay the exit fees.
Yep.
But then again, you also got to look at it in 2 ways. I didn't see the TV money and all that comes with it, but
it's a lot.
I do know that the strict exit fee for leaving the Mountain West is somewhere between $18 and $20 million. Just depends on the school and what they bring. And then, you're talking about 5 schools, so that's $90 to $100 million that you're losing right there. But the second lawsuit that the Mountain West Conference is in is with the Pac-12.
Yep.
Who the Pac-12 is refusing to pay poaching fees because they're stating that, that they're in a bad spot from when everybody else left the conference. That's another $55 million right there that the Mountain West is looking to accrue. So, I mean, you're looking at upwards of $155 million that the Mountain West could potentially lose just in this. But, we also got to remember this started in mediation in May. And it got to about the middle of July, and neither side was budging on either lawsuit. So, it's I find it, especially in the cases of everybody but San Diego State, that they want to, nod out after San Diego State has said, we tried this and y'all wanted to say this about us. But then, the Pac-12 is also not pursuing the case for Boise State or San Diego State, I believe, in the poaching fee. So, that's another thing. That's why there's only 3 teams in that lawsuit. So that one might get settled quicker than the other one. But it's interesting to see. And I mean, but both sides have great points and interest at heart for leaving and wanting this money and kind of sticking to the guns. But Mountain West is looking at these teams and saying, hey, you guys signed the exact same agreements already with these other conferences. Why can you not honor the one that you signed with us? I believe it was in 2021.
You're right. It's that grant of rights. The grant of rights deal, we know, for a lot of conferences is ironclad. And yes, John, you're right. Boise did help pave the way for mid-majors. Yes, everybody's, again, living under a rock. The Fiesta Bowl, Oklahoma, Statue of Liberty play. That's all we got to say is Boise State did the unthinkable. And they proved that mid-majors deserve. They absolutely deserve the opportunity. But yeah, this TV deal that the Mountain West Conference is about to finalize, it's like upwards of like almost $380 million. It's insane the amount of money that they are getting. I'm really happy about it because Mountain West, they're good. They're a good conference. Matt, you remember the old WAC, right, Matt? You have to remember the old WAC, correct?
Absolutely.
So, for those who don't know, TCU actually started in the Western Athletic Conference. And every team that's now in the Pac-12 2.0, except for Gonzaga, except for Cal State Kev Fullerton, except for those two, right? They all were in the WAC, and the WAC is virtually almost dead completely. In case you guys don't know this, our good friend Casey Smithwaite said that there is a very real possibility that the remaining like 4 or 5 teams left in the WAC, they're going to bolt, and they're absolutely going to leave. And nothing's there to stop. Utah Valley is joining the Pac-12 in a couple of years. I mean, it's just it's imploding really bad for the WAC, and the Pac-12 2.0 is a majority Western Athletic Conference teams of the old. But then the next question that many people have come to is should the Pac-12 be granted the Power 4 status? I think no. I absolutely think no. Why should a conference that was hanging on by the hair of by 2 teams, literally by 2 teams, Washington State and Oregon State, that was all that was holding them together, and now they have a bunch of small. Why should they be given that opportunity? By the way, their TV deal is only like $300 million. Only is a lot for a lot of other things, but again, for a conference that was so rich in history. The old slogan was where champions were made, the Pac-12, Pac-8, Pac-10, Pac-whatevers. Okay. That was always the thing. This were the conference of champions. Well, I saw Shane shaking his head. Shane, you think that they shouldn't be granted that Power 4, right?
No. You've got multiple other conferences out there that bring more to the table than say what the Pac-12 2.0 is going to bring. And really, you said it best when it's not really the Pac-12 2.0, it's going to be the mountain, the West,
the WAC,
yeah,
Western Athletic.
yeah. It's going to be the WAC 2.0, just under a new name.
Yep.
So definitely not gonna do that. I mean, the first conference that comes to mind that could potentially be promoted would be the American, and we know that's not going to happen. I think that we're set in at 4, and I think that it's gonna the only realignment that we're going to see from here on out is probably going to be big deals into the Power 4 until, say, we get a true regional realignment with, say, 16 to 20 teams in each league, and north, south, east, west kind of deal.
I agree 100%. I agree, and it's only going to be a matter of time before we start seeing other conferences poaching other schools to come here, go there, blah, blah, blah. It's going to happen. We're not done with the realignment. So shout out, though, absolutely to the Mountain West. I think Mountain West is going to – I think they're gonna surprise so many people because, yes, they've stopped all their conversations for this year, but when they've already said when the season ends, they're going right back to the phones, schools that they are going to converse with. One of them is Toledo, which Toledo was literally this close to joining the Mountain West Conference as a football-only member. However, the Mountain West Conference asked Toledo to join as a full-time member. Toledo said they needed a year to talk about it. We'll see on that one. But then they're supposed to talk to both North Dakota State and South Dakota State. Both Montana and Montana State have also been in conversations. We're not done yet. We ain't done yet. And there's a possibility that Northern Illinois could ultimately not just be a football member of Mountain West, but could be a full-time member. We'll see. And by the way, folks, the Pac-12 just in the last couple months became an official recognized FBS conference because they got the necessary 8 teams needed to be considered a conference. All right, so let's continue on with college football. Well, the top 25 preseason coaches poll has come out. For those who don't know, this is the poll right here. And there is a couple of surprising names on there. One of them in particular, which John is going to comment on, I'm sure. Number 20 is Kansas State. K-State, they're a good program. They really are. I mean, I can't not say they're a good program. But did they do enough last year, Matt, to constitute being in the top 25 already? What do you think, Matt?
Um, that's kind of tricky, man. I you know what? I think they did. I think they did. I think they did, man. But you know, we'll see. It's always the preseason rankings or it's the rankings, man. After week 0 they'll change, or after week
I call it
1
the
they'll
way
change.
too early preseason kind of thing
Yeah,
because it's way
exactly.
too early even to make a preseason. And there's not really a preseason per se.
Exactly. But my biggest surprise on there kind of is Arizona State. Seeing with the
They
loss of
lost
Cam
a lot
Scatterbull,
too.
they lost Scatterbull. They're who was their offense in total, who was the engine of the offense. So just seeing them that high, man, shows what the committee really thinks. How highly the committee thinks of that program.
One thing that sticks out the most to me, Shane, BYU. The number 23. I don't like, and I can say BYU. I hate BYU. I've always. They're my rival.
That's why you're saying that you don't see why they're at 23, but they are a good program. So
they have glimpses of greatness, but then it's like the back end of the season, they tend to really fall off the rocker. And it's happened again last year, happened the year before that. They were this great opportunity, and then they overlooked their opponent, and then they fell flat on their face. I mean, they ended up losing like so many opportunities to get into the CFP. Yeah, they absolutely did.
They choked.
That's why I say I'm surprised. I'm really surprised that they are even ranked. But what about this next one though, Shane? What about Indiana? They're number 19. It was. I feel like last year was kind of a fluke season for Indiana. I feel like everything fell into place at the right time for them to have a good season, but at the end, they hit the wall, and I mean, what they do?
I think that they're a good team. What Coach Stagnetti, their coach, he's put together winning program after winning program. He most recently did it here at Indiana after leaving James Madison, I do believe.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And we saw what success that they had. I mean, they even had game day crew.
First time ever, by the way, folks.
Yeah. So, that, and, I want to highlight a couple too, and get kind of y'all's thoughts on it. One that stood out to me was Tennessee.
I like that because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Who's going to be the quarterback? Yeah. And then, just the belief that these guys have in Carson Beck.
He also had
Miami.
He had Tommy John, didn't he? Didn't he have Tommy John?
Yeah. But now, one Big 12 team that I know John probably won't like to hear this, but man, Iowa State. I'm a true believer in Iowa State this year. They've got a lot coming back, and I believe they're going to be good. I think that they should be higher. But yet, this is only a coach's poll.
Yeah. You still got the AP poll. You still got
the AP releases.
A bunch of them.
AP releases, I believe, August 11th. So we'll see how that one goes out. And that was normally a more true test of the college football ranking system than a coach's poll. But my biggest snub that I saw was Tulane.
Yes. Why were they not included on that list?
I'm not sure. They gave it to Boise State for some reason after losing what they lost. So
what about Texas Tech? Do they have Texas Tech on there too? Like, what really did Texas Tech do to constitute being in the top 25?
Them and Texas A&M.
Yes.
Texas A&M was on the same level as South Carolina last season, and South Carolina has much more talent coming back than what they do. And, they are ranked ahead of them, but, man, I'm not a believer in Texas A&M. at all. Hopefully Elko can turn it around and prove me wrong.
Mhm.
But really, the only thing that you can't question, maybe you can question the order, but you cannot question the top five. Those, I think, are the top five teams heading into the season anyway, up and down you look at it. And so you might rank them a little bit different, but those top five, those teams are the top five teams going into this football season. So they at least did get that right.
Ooh,
I
but
agree.
I mean,
I agree.
looking at
What do you think, Matt?
but just sorry, I don't mean to interject, but just Texas, man. I mean, that's a lot of belief in their quarterback, man, who didn't
But
really
you yourself, though,
stick
Matt,
to it.
you've even said that he's going to be number one, is what you said.
I did say that he is going to go number one in the draft. So, that's a lot of pressure on that kid, man. It's a lot of pressure. I mean, let's be real. They're number one because he's there at the helm at quarterback. So that's a lot of pressure that's going to be put on this kid, man. Let's see if he can live up to the last name.
Who is the backup though for Texas? Because since Quinn Ewers is gone, I only know of Arch Manning, but who is the backup to Arch Manning?
Mr. I think his name is I won't see the field.
True. True. I agree. I absolutely agree.
They do have the highest NIL collective though. So
yeah,
that is true.
It's
That
somebody
is true.
probably good.
Yeah, somebody. Yeah, but hey, we're excited regardless. As you guys did hear, Shane said August 11th, AP comes out. We will see kind of really what's going on about them. All right, so guys, school's back. For those who haven't gone to school yet, you will go this week. It is guaranteed, except for the West Coast. West Coast and the Northern usually go a few more weeks. I know Jackson, my nephew, I don't think he goes until after Labor Day, which is typically what we're used to when we were kids. But high school football, guys, literally knocking on that door. It's about to be here. We're about to see Friday Night Lights. We have Friday Night Lights prep show starting. They literally start next week, actually, on radio stations all over the South. That's including Metro Atlanta, Greenville, Charlotte, Tampa, Miami. I mean, it's all coming to light. I mean, even Louisiana is doing it too. But like I said, guys, from now until January, every weekend we'll have high school football. From now until the middle of February, we're going to have football on every day, basically. Every day, basically. I'm excited about this. Beyond excited about this. But there's a school in Beaufort, Georgia, though, Matt. You know this so well. Which this is definitely going to be something that Matt, and I'm hopefully I can get Shane to do it with me as well. We're going to go visit Beaufort High School. Why? Because Beaufort High School, it was originally said it was going to be a $50 million football complex. No. Try $62.5 million football complex. It debuts this year. I think it's 15,000 seat stadium. It is latest of the greatest kind of thing. Well, this is not the first big expense that Beaufort High School has done. They have a $30 million baseball. They have a $27 million softball complex. I think it's like a $25 million basketball, indoor basketball practice field. I mean, it's crazy how much they've spent on their program. But, Matt, Shane, we hear this all the time. Everything is bigger in Texas, but evidently we're missing something going on with that. Because I mean, I've seen Beaufort play. I know they're fantastic. Some of the best talent you'll ever see. They get like 35 D1 offers every year minimum. But Matt, what do you think? Like, do you think this is paving the way for schools like, let's just say Parkview, let's say Roswell? We know Roswell is a formidable opponent. Let's just say Roswell, Parkview. I mean, we know Milton. What if they join on and say, let's build a $70 million football complex? Do you think that's going to start coming to light now because of what Beaufort has done? Or is this just like a rarity that we're going to see in Metro Atlanta football, high school football, I should say?
For those who frequent the fast food establishment called either Checkers or Checkers.
Rallies.
Checkers or Rallies or whatever you want to call it, man. They have this burger called the Big Buford. There's a reason for that burger, and the reason is this high school that is up here, man. That it looks like a college campus, bigger than some college campuses, if you want to be quite honest with it. If you exclude the dorms, which I'm pretty sure wouldn't be surprised if dorms come soon and with this school, the way that progress they're making. To keep their student athletes on. But nah, man. You know, it's not about paving the way. It's about having the finances to do this.
Well, here's the thing, though. Buford is an inner city school. It's classified as an inner city school.
But see, Buford is in Gwinnett. Gwinnett, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Gwinnett is one of the, if not the richest county in Georgia. If I'm not mistaken.
North Fulton is the richest county.
Okay.
Gwinnett County is the largest, wealthiest county. Does that make sense?
So let me shed some light on you guys. Let me give you guys some geography for those who don't know anything about Georgia or Atlanta and how it goes. You have the city of Atlanta. You have the main city of Atlanta. The Falcons, the Falcons Stadium is down there, things of that nature. But then you have what they call Metro Atlanta, which is the surrounding counties and cities that is on the outside of Atlanta. Now, out of all of those Metro Atlanta counties, or whatever you want to call it, if there was a county that you would go and raise your family, it has all parks, good schools, the top of the education, that will be Gwinnett County.
Yep, Gwinnett County.
At the edge of Gwinnett County, all the way at the top, you have the last city, which is Buford, all the way at the top. And Buford, Lawrenceville, Snellville, Loganville, Norcross, Lilburn. These are all these are the cities that look like that. The city puts money behind them. Paved roads all the time, parks. The parks are always clean, things like that, man. So there's money that the community of Gwinnett keeps in their community. So this county is the county to be. This is where good families are being raised. This is where you're starting to see an increase in the sports facilities. This is where you want to be, man. This is where they're building. They're building all these, the Andretti's, the Top Golfs. They're building all these in Gwinnett for a reason, because they're trying to make Gwinnett like.
Well, also remember, Gwinnett County is it's actually the number one county in the entire U.S. to live. The number one city, according to Forbes and Travel Guide, also was Suwanee, which, Matt, Suwanee is Gwinnett County.
That is true. As Suwanee is also home to, where Lou Williams was at when he was coming up, man. Suwanee, great area too, man. Great area. You'll see a lot of athletes that, a lot of baseball players live in Suwanee, So, I mean, yeah, guys, there's a lot of money here in Gwinnett. So, they're going to build up here. So it only makes sense that their high schools are going to start looking like Buford. I give it another 10 years. I give it another 10 years. You'll see a few more high schools that look like Buford, man, that are trying to compete with them.
Shane, I got to ask you this question. Could you ever see something like a Buford High School being built, not only in the upstate, but in the Western North Carolina region as well?
Man, I could possibly
think about Brevard High School having almost a $70 million football complex.
Well, I can tell you the price to build that up here would be astronomical, just because of the groundwork that you would have to lay for it. Yeah.
Just a penny tax, right, Matt?
Yeah, no. But I saw when they built Burns, back in the day, and Dorman, the size of those schools compared to what I was used to seeing at the time, man, and the way they did those schools, especially when Burns was coming up, and had Willie Corn playing for him, who eventually went on and played for Clemson. But you
And
know,
correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Burns just renovate their stadium?
yeah, I believe that they did. They're not as prominent as they once were, so I doubt that it was a major. It was probably a major endeavor for them, but it's not a Buford High School level kind of renovation. But you know, we're going to see it. I believe what's that? IMG Academy down in Florida. They are like they've got I think 19 different restaurants on campus.
That's insane.
It's ridiculous. They are college campuses now, and with NIL and the way that a lot of these states allow you to uh, per se recruit in certain players as long as you play in certain divisions. You know, you're going to keep seeing the money go into it, and you know, as you mentioned, the money going into it is not for lackluster results. These schools that are doing this consistently produce Division I level talent, and Division I level talent consistently produces pro level talent.
Yep.
You know that's just kind of what you're going to see. A couple little stat lines that thought was cool. It's a 15,000 seat stadium. I believe had 30 or 50 luxury boxes, and their jumbotron is I believe 30,000 square feet.
Just think about this for a second, folks. If it's that big, could you imagine? I think it's bigger than the Atlanta Braves, if I'm not mistaken. The Atlanta Braves have the state of the art, the best of the best. When Truist Park was SunTrust Park, and then they opened it, it was touted as the best scoreboard in all of sports. Well, evidently Buford said, "Hold my beer," kind of thing. But I will tell you this, Brian, John, everybody who is tuning in right now, if you get a chance, go look up the pictures, look at the videos. The first game is in a couple of weeks. That's being held there. There is a ribbon cutting ceremony slated to happen that Thursday, and then Friday night is the first game. I promise you, it's amazing. I will tell you from experience, when I had to coach against Buford High School for Avondale High School, that was back even then. That was still an amazing field, house, everything. So shout out to Buford. They can do it. All right. So Shane's got some really cool sports stories and he wants to share this. And it's not one, it's multiple. With that being said, Shane, tell us your stories.
Oh yeah, well, I focus on the good-hearted side of things a lot, and one of my stories that I saw in this past week was Cameron Brink. We've talked about her before on the show plenty of times, I know, but she's back 13 months after tearing her ACL. And then doing a little celebrity tour and actually mentioning that she tore her meniscus as well at the same time on the Celebrity Wheel of Fortune that was going on. She had her first game back against the Aces. I believe was limited to about 13 minutes or so, but still 5 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block. Second game back, she gets, I believe, 12 minutes, comes out 7 points, 4 rebounds, 2 steals, and 3 blocks. It's going to take some time for her to get back to the form that we saw, warranting that number 2 pick that she got from Los Angeles. But, it's just a great story to hear her coming back and persevering. As far as I can tell, there's very minimal scarring that has gone on with the doctors and everything. Praise them for that. But if you want to check her out, she'll be back game 3 tonight at 10 o'clock against the Indiana Fever without Caitlin Clark. So matching records, both of them trying to make a little bit of a playoff push. So it should be a good one. And, another thing that caught my eye earlier, I believe last week it was, but the Major League Baseball, we've talked about it. They're coming to their CBA in December of 2026, but things got heated. Rob Manfred was in Philadelphia to take a game, and as he does many a times, they go around through the season, kind of check, see how things are going in the clubhouse, and kind of get that one-on-one time, which makes him one of the better, league presidents and all in all of professional sports. But Bryce Harper came right out at him and said, "Hey, there's going to be no explicitive salary cap talk in this clubhouse."
And I can see Bryce Harper saying that too, by the way.
Yeah, and I mean, it was just kind of one of those moments, and I mean, that's Bryce Harper. He stands 10 toes down, strictly on business, and that's what he was going to say. And hey, it was said early in the meeting. Manfred snapped back, said, "I'll be in this clubhouse, and this will be a conversation." And then finally, after about an hour, they shook hands and everything. It was just kind of one of those things that, it's going to take this to finally get something done. We don't want to see what happened in '94 without a World Series, but I think it's pretty great to see, that you can have this open dialect of, hey, this is where I'm at right now. This is how I feel. But this is how I feel too. Now let's calmly sit here and talk about why we feel this way. So I thought that was great to see, and pretty fun thing to hear that we're actually getting somewhere now.
Oh yeah, look, you guys, you may see there's not another person here. Matt is actually at work. He had to leave to handle some work business to wrap up for the day. So thank you for Matt for coming on. Real quickly, he wanted to let everybody know, and then I'll chime in what you said on that, Shane. Every Tuesday morning, this is from Matt, I will be releasing fantasy rankings. And you will be able to pay league fees on Thursday. Matt has to convert the league to a pay league first. This is for fantasy football. In case you had questions, that's the answer right there. All right, so I understand what you're saying, Shane, but I'm okay with a salary cap maybe being implemented in the coming seasons. Baseball has gotten outlandishly ridiculous with their spending. I mean, you have a guy who is making $700 million. However, it's been deferred so far back that our grandkids will be making fun of the Bobby Bonilla effect for almost every player on the LA Dodgers. I mean, I don't even know what you would call it, the Shohei Ohtani blah 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 effect, because you deferred so much money. But $700 million to throw ball, no, that's ridiculous. I'm not going for that one. Hey, real quick, there's some breaking news that has just come down about 22 minutes officially. ESPN, they're acquiring the NFL Network and the NFL Red Zone and the entirety of it. It's breaking news. It's all over. I'm not going to read the press release. This is very long. But if you want to, it's up on ESPN.com about ESPN is acquiring basically the entire NFL Network. Ouch. Hey, let's give some honorable mentions. You ready to do that, Shane?
Yes. I've got a good one too.
Let's give an honorable mention to Matt's guy, Shedeur Sanders. Most likely is going to start the preseason opener. However, which is weird because Tyler Huntley was just signed as the 5th quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, and it was literally mentioned 3 days ago. Shedeur Sanders most likely was going to be the first to be cut. He is listed as the 4th string quarterback. I don't know the Browns. What's your next honorable mention, Shane?
Well, I figured that might be your leadoff. So I'm going to go with on the opposite of the ball Friday night there in Charlotte. Um, uh, Canales came out and said that the starters will play in the first 2 preseason games this year.
There you go.
Man, shout out, and I hope this sets a trend across the league because a lot of people, they don't get a chance to see a regular season NFL game. I know that the preseason tickets are more economical for everybody and more family, kind of all around environment kind of deal. Kind of with the fun fair and everything else that you see there during the preseason games. So, I think that it sets that. I hope it sets that trend for other teams in the league to at least have the starters play one game at least, if not the first 2.
I like that. I have another honorable mention, but not for the good reasons. Jordan Addison has been suspended for the first 3 games of the season, violating the NFL league's substance abuse policy. Dude, if it sounds too good to be true, don't do it. Don't put it in your body. You have this opportunity that not many of you people ever get to experience, and you've already decided, let me go and just put something foreign in my body. What's your next one, Shane?
Well, man, I want to give a shout out to a guy that's quietly been doing things that are unheard of in the baseball world. Mr. Paul Skeens.
Yes, I love it.
Sub 1 ERA in his winning starts through his career, but through his career still, I think I want to say like a 1.5 ERA at the worst. But I mean, he's doing things that you don't hear about, but in stories of say of Satchel Paige and Nolan Ryan kind of errors, which right now his stat line is not going to eclipse the numbers, but by the games and innings pitched, could possibly be right there tit for tat with Nolan Ryan through his career.
And everybody, in case you don't know, Nolan Ryan, that would be an honor right there to be mentioned in classics with him. Quickly give another honorable mention. Keenan Allen. Yes, he has agreed to terms to return back to the LA Chargers. Congratulations. He is going to finish his career where it basically all started for him. What's your next one, Shane? Give your next honorable mention.
Well, next honorable mention, I guess we'll stay in the NFL. Anthony Richardson is set to make his start this Thursday for the Colts.
Yeah, that's right. Preseason opener.
Man, we'll see how that goes. Hopefully, he can stay healthy because he is a great talent, great arm strength, and everything else. So it'd be great to see what he can do back on the field.
Absolutely. Hey, I got to give another honorable mention. This story is actually really cool, and I don't know if Matt knows he sees us, but we see him. But this is a really cool story. I'm going to give an honorable mention shout out to Shoeless Joe Jackson. And here's the reason why. A very rare piece of sports memorabilia is going up for auction. Shane, you know this. Shoeless Joe Jackson was illiterate. He didn't even know how to sign his name. He had his wife sign his name. Well, this baseball is signed with a bunch of players. And of course, the common theme is if you have a bunch of players who sign and it's not as noticeable that you can't write your name, it just kind of looks as like your basic John Hancock. Well, he is on this baseball. This baseball is from, I believe, 1920 something. It was mentioned on the news tonight. Well, it is up for auction, and you can go on auction right now. I'm not going to tell you the website because I don't want to inundate them, but it is expected to be worth $150,000. to $250,000 range. This is what this ball could go for. So absolutely shout out indeed to Shoeless Joe Jackson. Such a phenomenal player. And for those who don't know, he also was just granted back into Major League Baseball and is eligible for votes to go to the Hall of Fame. I think he'll get in. Shane, I think we've had that conversation before. So yeah, shout out to the person who wins that baseball. That's a piece of legendary history. And now, Shane, give us your last honorable mention, please.
Well, last honorable mention is I'm just going to say this to all the younger athletes out there to just keep pushing. Man, it's I remember when I was younger, this time of year with the Little League World Series on, and everything just getting back into the swing of things with school and all, seeing all your friends again. Football coming back, so you guys playing football, been playing baseball kind of deal. Just shout out, to the younger generation and, keeping the passion and drive for sports out there. And I think every year we see it, talent just keeps getting better and better. And so, man, it's no telling what I'm going to see when I'm hopefully 80.
Hopefully 80, yes. Matt, you're back, man. Can you give us I want you to give us an honorable mention, sir. You're muted. There you
go. An honorable mention. Let's see.
Yes.
Honorable mention that I'll give. And man, honestly, I'll just give an honorable mention to. Let's just give it to football, man. I'm gonna give it to football. We're about to come up upon great seasons, high school, collegiate, and NFL level, man. So I'm gonna give the honorable mention to football because football is gonna keep a lot of us sane this year, man. Keeps a lot of us sane due to the insanity we just had. Kids all summer, kids back to school now, man. I mean, I'd give an honorable mention to football right now, man. And we missed you. We can't wait for you to get back here with us. And please stay forever.
Where have you been our all lives?
Never leave us again. So
never leave us again.
I'm gonna take the cheap way out and give an honorable mention to football.
Hey, I gotta give a quick honorable mention to the 6'10" wide receiver in a high school based in Florida. I was trying to find the story on this, but this kid is 6'10", not really exactly the best. Let's just say this, Matt. Brent Grimes, what was like 5'8", and he has to go against a 6'10" wide receiver. You ain't winning that battle. I don't care who you are. You ain't winning that battle against a 6'10" wide receiver.
Hey, LSU's got a cat that's going to be good this year. He's 6'5", put on 15.
Okay, that's a lot better. But that's a lot better than a 5'8".
But he's 6'5", 195 playing QB. I mean, cornerback. Yeah.
No, that's good.
We'll see. I mean, that's Virginia Tech used to do it all the time, like Cam Chancellor and D'Angelo Hall. Even D'Angelo Hall came in as a safety, then transitioned to cornerback, and then Cam Chancellor was more raw, so he came in as a cornerback and learned how to play, and then ended up at safety.
Yep.
So it's one that they love to do it. Take those, Virginia Tech's famous for doing it. Take those tall guys and putting them in a corner, and just seeing where they're at.
Here, just go play. That's exactly what they do. Hey, real quick, we're gonna put a poll out. I will have it up on Facebook. I'll put it on Twitter. Everything. Our other side of Saturdays, when do you guys think we should air it? Should it be on Wednesday? Should it be on a Thursday or Saturday? You guys let us know. I will have the poll up. We appreciate that one. Real quick, let us know, and we will. If you win, we'll give you a shout out. If you guys could help us get our socials to grow, we really appreciate it. Instagram, let's try and get it to 1,000 by Halloween. We would really appreciate it. Our YouTube. Our goal at the end of 2025 is to get to 2,500 subscribers. We're at 1,882 right now. Help us get to that ever popular 2,500 mark. My TikTok page personally is at 300. Help it get to 1,000. The Sportz Nutz help that one get to 800 as well minimum. Our Twitter is currently at 200. I mean at 450. If we can, see if we can help it get to 1,100 at the Sportz Nutz on Twitter by the end of this year. Facebook, we're currently at 1,100. See if we can get to 2,000. We can do this with your help. Letting you guys know, Friday we have a jam-packed show. Peter Blake for the NFC South and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He is going to come on. He was supposed to come on during the training days, but obviously he had technical issues and had to get on his own show. But he is coming to talk to us about the NFC South and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Really excited about that one. August 15th, guys, we have Lance Meadows, the play-by-play caller for the New York Giants. He's going to come on for about 20 minutes, talk some football with us. Can't wait for that one. We are working on some others. Like I said, August the 12th, it is the rescheduled for Jimmy Smith. He is going to join us, the former wide receiver of the Dallas Cowboys, but more importantly, the Jacksonville Jaguars. He is one of only 5 players ever to be inducted into the Ring of Honor for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He is going to join us. We absolutely cannot wait to have him on. It has been confirmed. Real quick, as you guys see under Shane's name, money lines. Real quick, Shane, let everybody know when it starts.
Oh, yeah. Well, as everybody can tell, we're going to start it August 27th, Wednesday night, 7:30. That way everybody can get our much needed or unneeded betting advice before the games happen.
And look, Matt's over there like, I'm ready to get it. Yeah, because Matt is your money, Matt. Oh man, I'm just
parlays
phrase there.
Parlays all day.
That's right. Guys, we have had an absolute fantastic time talking to you. Thank you guys for everybody who tuned in. Thank you for all the kind words that we do get regularly. It really does mean a lot to us, and it, helps reaffirm us that we are doing the right thing. We absolutely appreciate each and every one of you. If you guys could also do us a favor, we absolutely would appreciate it. Tune into our radio partner, TigerNation.live and or 95.5 KFCE based in Terrell, Texas. They graciously put us on the air, and you can catch us every Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, and help them grow. We have heard phenomenal reviews about us being on there, and we want to help them grow. Let's all jump together and see if we can help them become the station. There will be a promo put out shortly of the Sportz Nutz joining the KFCE team. Cannot wait to share that with you guys. So with that being said, for everybody who tuned in, everybody who watched, everybody who commented, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. But Matt, tell them everybody your goodbyes, please, sir.
Absolutely, guys. Again, football preseason coming up this weekend. This week, actually. So I think on Friday, correct? If I'm not mistaken, I think it's Friday.
Thursday.
Oh, okay. All right, guys. So in a couple of days, we got football coming back, man. Let's just enjoy it. Stay at home. Don't drink and drive. Don't get flagged in the game of life.
And don't get the whoop whoops behind you. Shane, what do you tell everybody?
Oh, yeah. Well, appreciate everybody tuning in, commenting. As Brandon mentioned, kind of help us hit all of our goals that we got. Stay blessed. Peace, love, and bacon grease.
Peace, love, and bacon grease, indeed. As I always tell you, guys, peace up. A-Town down. Why? It's the greatest sports city there ever was. Thank you guys from the bottom of our hearts again. We will see you on Friday. That's right, Friday. Peter Blake joins us. Can't wait. Y'all have a wonderful evening and enjoy every minute you have with your kids. Congratulations on all those kids starting back to school. Good night, and we'll talk to you soon.
Get out the house, kids.